Can you imagine your favorite dishes without tomato sauce? No rich pasta, no savory pizza dripping with that tangy, delicious flavor? For many of us, tomato sauce is a staple, something we take for granted in our kitchens. But behind every bottle or can of tomato sauce you pick off the supermarket shelf is a fascinating, high-tech world that few people get to see. Today, we'll take you inside one of the largest tomato sauce factories in the world, where an incredible 200,000 kilos of sauce are produced every single day. The journey of a simple tomato, from the field to your kitchen table, is more complex than you might think. From the sunny tomato fields of California to the buzzing, state-of-the-art machinery that processes them, there is a whole ecosystem dedicated to bringing this humble ingredient to life. As you'll soon discover, modern food production is a marriage between nature and technology. It's easy to forget that the food industry has evolved rapidly in the last few decades. Today, machines dominate the agricultural landscape, and while this means more efficiency and higher production rates, it also raises important questions about sustainability and the role of human labor in this process. In the past, tomatoes were harvested by hand, a labor-intensive process that employed thousands of workers. But today, machines do the bulk of the work, allowing for a massive increase in production. On the one hand, this is a great achievement for efficiency. But on the other, it has reshaped the way agriculture functions, leaving many farm workers out of jobs. One thing is clear: machines have revolutionized how we grow and harvest food. But as we embrace these technological advancements, we should also ask ourselves, what are we losing in the process? Is the push for faster, bigger production coming at a cost that we may not realize yet? As I reflect on this, I think of the family farms that once thrived and the communities built around them, slowly giving way to massive agribusinesses. Technology has undoubtedly transformed the food industry, but has it changed for the better? This is a question we need to keep in mind as we continue our journey through the tomato sauce production process. Once the tomatoes are harvested and transported to the factory, the next crucial step begins: sorting and processing. The tomatoes must go through multiple stages of cleaning, peeling, and sorting to ensure only the best ones make it into the sauce. This process, though largely automated, requires incredible precision. Upon arrival, the tomatoes are washed in large tanks of water, where powerful jets remove dirt and other impurities. It's fascinating to think that millions of tomatoes are processed every single day, yet each one goes through a meticulous process to ensure its quality. One key aspect of the sorting process is the use of advanced technology. With the help of laser scanners, the factory can differentiate between ripe, red tomatoes and those that are too green or damaged. As the tomatoes move down the conveyor belt, the scanner identifies any substandard fruits and removes them instantly, ensuring that only the best tomatoes continue on the journey. After sorting, the next step is peeling and crushing the tomatoes. This is where the factory's technology really shines. To remove the skins without damaging the tomatoes, the factory uses a hot water bath. The tomatoes are submerged in this hot water, which causes the skins to loosen, making them easy to peel. But here's the thing: this process isn't as simple as it sounds. The water has to be at the perfect temperature to ensure that the skins come off without affecting the quality of the flesh. If the water is too hot, the tomatoes could become mushy. If it's too cold, the skins won't come off properly. There's a story that one of the factory managers told me about an incident that happened a few years ago. During the height of the harvest season, a massive storm rolled through the area, and the machinery was forced to work through the night to keep up with the overwhelming amount of tomatoes. In the chaos, a batch of unripe tomatoes almost made it past the sorting stage, which could have ruined the entire production run for the day. Fortunately, the laser scanner picked up the irregularities just in time, saving thousands of kilos of sauce from being wasted. This story reminds us that while technology plays a critical role in ensuring the efficiency and accuracy of modern food production, it is still susceptible to external factors like weather and human error. Even with all the advancements, there's a delicate balance that needs to be maintained to produce high-quality food products. Watching the tomatoes being peeled and crushed made me think about how much technology has transformed not just agriculture, but also the way we think about food. Decades ago, this process would have taken hours, if not days, to complete by hand. Today, it's done in a matter of minutes, thanks to machines that work tirelessly around the clock. However, there's something about the handmade process that we've lost. While efficiency is essential in today's fast-paced world, I wonder if we're missing out on the richness of tradition. There's a beauty in the slow, deliberate act of making something by hand, something that machines, no matter how advanced, will never be able to replicate. After peeling, the tomatoes move on to the crushing stage. Giant machines with sharp blades slice the tomatoes into small pieces, preparing them for the next phase of production. It's mesmerizing to watch as hundreds of tomatoes are crushed in a matter of seconds, yet the process is so precise that there is very little waste. Once the tomatoes have been crushed, they are moved into massive mixing tanks where the real magic happens, the addition of other ingredients. This is where tomatoes are transformed from raw produce into the delicious, savory sauce we all know and love. The sauce is mixed with onions, garlic, salt, sugar, and spices, which are all added in precise quantities to create that perfect balance of flavors. The factory uses automated systems to measure out the ingredients, ensuring consistency in every batch. But despite the automation, there is still an art to getting the flavor just right. I met a chef named Maria, who oversees the mixing process at the factory. She told me about a time when the sauce wasn't turning out quite right, and after some investigation, she discovered that the onions being used that day were slightly sweeter than usual, throwing off the balance of flavors. Even though the machines were adding the ingredients in the correct amounts, it took Maria's keen palate to detect the subtle difference and make the necessary adjustments. Maria's story highlights the importance of human expertise in an increasingly automated world. While machines can handle the bulk of the work, there's still a need for skilled individuals who understand the nuances of flavor and can make adjustments when things go off track. Once the sauce has been cooked and pasteurized, it's time for packing and shipping. The sauce is pumped through pipes into aluminum cans, which are sealed using an airtight process to ensure the product stays fresh for months. From there, the cans are labeled, packed into boxes, and shipped to supermarkets around the world. What's remarkable about this stage is how efficient the process is. Hundreds of cans are filled, sealed, and labeled in a matter of minutes. The precision and speed at which this happens is truly impressive. As we come to the end of this journey, there are a few key takeaways that stand out to me. First, the production of tomato sauce is a marvel of modern technology and efficiency. It's incredible to think about how far we've come in terms of agricultural and industrial processes. Yet, even in this highly automated world, the human touch is still essential. From the farmers who grow the tomatoes to the chefs who oversee the mixing process, there's a level of care and expertise that machines simply cannot replace. Second, this experience has made me think more deeply about the food I consume. How often do we stop to think about the journey our food takes before it reaches our plate? The next time you open a can of tomato sauce, I encourage you to pause and consider the incredible effort that goes into making it. Finally, there's a broader lesson to be learned here about progress and tradition. As technology continues to evolve, we must find a balance between embracing innovation and preserving the values that connect us to the land and the food we eat. Tomato sauce, in its simplicity, reminds us that food is not just fuel. It's a reflection of culture, history, and human ingenuity.